welcome back. Slight change to the agenda. We're going to move council comments to the end of the meeting as they used to be, just for this time. So we'll move on to public comments. Excuse me. The council's intention is to preserve the level of respect, courtesy, and civility required to successfully conduct the public's business. In this regard, the council should be addressed during public participation as a collective body and not individual members. In order to respect the speaker's time, council members will not engage in a dialogue or debate with the speaker. However, council members should feel free to ask the speaker a question or questions once recognized by the council president for purposes of clarifications. Council members can offer comments on a speaker's remarks once the speaker has concluded his or her comments in their allotted 5-minute time frame.
Sorry.
All right, are we starting? Okay.
No more, we're talking about you.
Okay. Good evening, members of Town Council, resident, and mayor. My name is Marty Graflinger, and I am proud to live in Browns Mills, a community that holds a special place in my heart. I am equally proud to serve as the elected president of the Browns Mills Improvement Association, BMIA, a nonprofit founded in 1919, where my great-grandfather, Dr. Edmund Graff, was the first treasurer. Before we delve into the primary topic, I want to highlight our upcoming chili cook-off and berry bake-off at the BMIA building on January 2nd at 6 p.m. We'll have prizes, and our entries will be judged by culinary teacher John Mackey, and I encourage everyone to participate. I want to take a moment to reflect on last year's 2025 wish list put out by the BMIA. While we appreciate the Town Council's effort in completing our requests and improving our community spirit, I must express that our reputation has nevertheless suffered, and the challenges we face have only intensified. When people introduce themselves and say they were from Browns Mills or Pemberton, they often hesitate, and it's time to reclaim our pride in this community. Tonight, I want to emphasize our #1 priority for the 2026 BMIA wish list, and that is the creation of a quarterly township magazine. This initiative is vital for addressing our lack of communication and the negative press that has surrounded us, especially over the last 3 years. While I enjoy reading the Pine Barrens Tribune, it often focuses solely on the negatives, causing many stories to go viral nationwide and contribute to a poor reputation. I want to highlight that we used to have a publication delivered to residents, and I have a copy from 2003 right in my hand. It is fantastic, and it serves as a reminder of what we can achieve. The new Town magazine can be even better. It can feature township events, keep residents informed about meetings, festivals, and community gatherings. It can spotlight articles, highlight local businesses, nonprofits, and community leaders making a difference in our area. It can highlight youth achievement, celebrate the accomplishment of our students, athletes, and local scholars. Local content, it can include contributions from local food critics, showcasing the culinary scene, and even fun recipes and interviews and tips. It can also be a resource guide, providing essential information on community resources, services, and upcoming recreational activities. By creating this magazine, we can fill a gap left by the loss of our previous publication, ensuring that all residents have access to vital information. During discussions with our BMIA Board of Directors, it was clear that while there are many things happening in Pemberton Township, compiling and maintaining that information is a massive undertaking. I agree wholeheartedly with Josh Ward's suggestion at his town hall that this town needs a webmaster, but we should step it up from there. The right person for this position should not only be responsible for updating the town's website with all the activities, but also include information from various community groups and nonprofits, such as the Coupon Clipper Club and Jasmine Pool's After School Center. Everything should be housed in a centralized location. Moreover, we need to consider that many residents do not have access to the internet or social media and may not even know how to find the township's website. If we could deliver this magazine to their mailboxes quarterly, they would receive a complete calendar of events on all the information they need to get involved. I was recently given a copy of Medford Living, showcasing how other towns successfully promote their communities. Our recording secretary is in touch with the mayor of Morristown, who is willing to share ideas through a Zoom call with Town Council about creating a beautiful magazine that costs taxpayers nothing, with revenue generated from advertisers. Not only will local businesses benefit with connecting with residents, but who wouldn't want to advertise in a publication that showcases what we offer as a community? We are merely asking the township to hire the right person for this job, a communication specialist. This individual would ensure our community is accurately and positively represented, creating the magazine and managing the website. We could hire a young person, and that position could be hybrid or fully remote. Following this, I will share more about our 2026 wish list at the first town council meeting in January, where we will reveal the specific of those other 9 items, so stay tuned. Lastly, I want to stress the importance of community involvement. Remember this, if you are not at the table, then you're on the menu. It's essential for residents to engage with their civic organizations, attend town council meetings, and be part of the solution. Don't just complain on the Facebook. Thank you for your time, and I welcome any questions or thoughts you have.
Thank you.
Good evening, council.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Pretty good. You guys excited for the last meeting of the year?
That was rhetorical, right?
All right, before I begin, Dan, thank you, and also I want to thank my neighbor as well for plowing us out from that snow on Sunday. You're an expert plower, I will say that.
Imagine what you can do, you can see over
That was cold.
Sorry, I had to put that
Oh.
All right, I just wanted to talk about some of the resolutions for 3/36/2025. My question is, since being tabled 2 weeks ago, have any substantial negotiations been made with the developer to get a grocery store for Pemberton Township?
Alex, we can
That
overrule the agenda.
What happened?
We have a revised agenda on the back table.
Oh.
That's out of my notes.
Well, you guys revised it twice. What, you want me to print it out 4 times?
Oh, no.
I guess the beauty is that it's about 2 a.m., right?
Well, man, oh man, what am I gonna do with you guys? All right, so, let's see. Man, caught me off guard. That's all right. All right, I'll just jump to 342. My question for that one is, what funds are going to be transferred within the current year 2025 budget? From my understanding and research, we're going to be moving money from one line item to another line item. I want to know what line item we're moving money from to the other line item to balance the budget. For 343 and 344, I want to know what the environmental activities will be along the Rancocas Lane and 115 Oakland Ave. Down to new business. I see we have a 63-month lease for a color copier, but I feel like we just renewed a lease last year for a copier, so why are we doing another copier for recreation? I mean, if they need it, go ahead and get it, but if they don't need another printer, why are we doing this? The reorganizational meeting dates, I had 2 dates in mind. I had the 2nd, which is a Friday, and the 7th, which is the following Wednesday. For the bill list, I want to know how much the bill list is for this meeting. And I know we're a day late on the bill list from last week, but I just wanted to touch on the bill list from the last meeting. It was brought to my attention that the bill list for the 12/3/2025 meeting we paid for the staff to have a catered lunch. I don't have an issue with our staff having a catered lunch. My issue is we didn't go with a business in town to cater our staff lunch. We have perfect restaurants here. We have Ricardo's, Family Pizza, A&B Bakery, Bagel, oh my God, Kenny Bud's farm stand. Yeah, plenty of places. Why we went to Tarantino's in Medford and spent $2,482 when we could have spent that money here in town and kept the money that all these folks together collectively put in a pot for you guys to spend. Why don't we leave the money in town and grow our economy, you know? I just wanted to touch quickly on the JIF. Come the 1st of January, our mayor is no longer going to be covered under the JIF Joint Insurance Fund. What does that mean for Pemberton Township? Is there a plan in place for something like this? Because I've looked all over online. I've never seen another town that's had a situation like ours. And I don't know if you've done your research and looked into this.
Sure.
Would you be able to speak on this when
I
we're?
think the council president wants to address it immediately, or? No, right ahead. Okay.
All right, and I'm done. And have a great Christmas and a happy holiday for anybody that celebrates. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. And thank you for being up here and serving the people and being transparent.
Thank you. The question has been raised about insurance coverage of the township at the beginning of January 1st of 2026.
Correct.
We've been advised by the insurance carrier and the municipal joint insurance fund that the policy for the township of Pemberton will be renewed. There is one exception to that policy. It's renewed under the condition that there will not be an employment practices liability or public official liability coverage for Mayor Conlon. All other aspects of the insurance coverage would remain the same in terms of deductibles, co-insurance, and everything else. That is the only aspect of the insurance that's changed. So that could result in some personal liability exposure to the mayor in the event that there was a claim under that, would ordinarily be covered under that coverage. So that is a possibility of exposure. There is a municipal ordinance that has been adopted by the Township of Pemberton, much like municipal ordinances in other municipalities, that provide for an indemnification for the defense of employees and public officials of the town in the course of their business. It does not include willful acts or certain other exclusions to that defense, but there is indemnification that it covers all employees of the town, regardless of the insurance coverage. So that is an issue that the Township of Pemberton must deal with January 1st. But all other insurance coverage will remain the same with the same insurance carrier. It's not being revoked or not renewed.
Well, thank you. You guys caught me off guard.
You hear the transfers if you want them.
Transcripts.
The transfers?
Oh, transcripts. There's
Bill
two
list.
ways to approve the record.
Bill list is 2.3 million.
And the activities that you requested that were from the Department of Defense or Air Force, you requested one of the resolutions that authorizes access for environmental activities.
Oh, yes.
Okay, those two resolutions, basically the same for two separate locations from the Department of the Air Force. They're requesting the placement of some monitoring wells as a result of likely contamination that may have occurred on the joint base.
Can I address something, Council President? As far as the employee luncheon, that wasn't using taxpayer money per se. That was JIF funds for the health and wellness. They get some kind of stipend for participating in different programs. And I'm pretty sure that our HR folks and the people that coordinate that work very, very hard to take care of our employees. Got the employee input of what they wish to have for their employee dinner, and that's why they utilized who they utilized.
I would have kept it in town. Thank you.
Council, Amy, Solicitor. Just a couple of questions I have. First one goes to Mr. Dewey. Did you ever get to find out what those Pemberton miscellaneous was on those bills?
Mr. Connors has all the information.
Okay. Do I answer Connor after?
You can ask your other question, we can address it.
Okay, sure. Another question is, when Mr. Dasty was representing our township, was he involved in 3 representations of the township? 1, representing the council, representing Jack for his initial lawsuits, and also doing other representation of the township. So if, just gonna answer to that one real quick. You know, he was a solicitor for the council. In the beginning, he was representing Jack, and he's also, you know, doing the basic township businesses, like legal representation. Was he doing all 3 of those?
I would suspect he was, just as I'm doing it now.
Okay, so my question is, especially when it comes to lawsuit, I'm not an attorney and I don't play one on TV.
If you're lucky, go ahead.
Okay, so as a counselor, if you're my counsel,
Right.
and information come about my case,
Right.
you inform me, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if you're representing Jack,
Right.
and information about Jack comes forward, you tell the council, correct?
It depends.
Okay, if you're representing the council in the same particular case with Jack, about Jack, information from the council come about, will you tell Jack as his counsel?
It depends.
But the thing is, you have to inform the person representing what's going on with your case, correct?
That would generally.
So there's no transparency, so everybody, you know what's going on. So if the council decided to make a move against Jack,
Right.
you're required to inform him, correct?
Not necessarily, no.
So you're not giving this full representation
Well,
then?
no, when you say I don't know that it's fact specific.
Mhm.
You're making me speculate on things that I don't know to be the
Right.
case. The fact of the matter is, as township attorney, you represent both the executive and the legislative branch. It poses a conundrum under
Yes.
the law, is the reason why you're asking these questions. And so it requires that it's fact sensitive. At times, it may be that it's required to get separate legal counsel, or the council might have to get separate legal counsel, which presents the issue.
Yeah,
Who authorizes it?
one person representing 3. It just don't make, it's not, there's no,
In a case of an adversarial relationship,
which
yes.
it was, in a way.
I don't know what
because-
you're speaking of.
Okay. All right, I'm trying to,
Okay.
not to go about 5 minutes. Also, I'm also looking forward to your comments tonight about, last year, what you didn't do, things like that. The last time I here was told Mr. Ward, that that, Jack is required to give a basic, State of the Union address tonight. But what he did this year was the future of Pemberton, so that's required, it's not a maybe, it's a must, it's a will, and it says shall.
For the mayor to make that.
Correct.
Yes.
Not you.
No, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, he's gotta give it to you, which not only gives it to you, he gives it to the township.
Correct.
Amy, this is a question for you. The form that's used for retired military personnel to get the stipend from the town, do you know that form and what's the requirement to get it?
No, I don't. That would be a question for the tax collector or tax assessor's office.
Okay. All right, so I'll ask that question, because my question is, if it's, I mean, you wouldn't know, but if it's for retired military living in town, do they get it? And you have to own the property to get it? That's my question. So I'll ask,
You would have to call the tax collector's office. They would be able to provide you that
okay,
information.
thanks. And as far as, the magazine, we did have a magazine, but of course, budget cut, got rid of it. So my suggestion, just to get that webmaster to do an online magazine first, advertise in the online magazine and switch over, once funds have been generated, then to go to hard copy paper to produce the magazine. And, as far as, everybody don't have a computer, which is true, but everybody have a cell phone. So there's an app I keep on talking about for townships to develop, where everybody can pay their bills, see township news, get pop-up notifications, so that, you're right, everybody has a phone, a computer, but there's a cell phone in somebody's pocket somewhere that can get the township information. And I have another question, just one more thing. Based on some of the videos I watched last year, the YouTube video, just remind council, you're not an executive body. you're strictly legislative, you're executive, not legislative. So basically, you can't do what he's supposed to do. And when I say he, I'm talking about the position, all right? Thank you very much, guys, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Donald.
And I say Merry Christmas.
So, Council,
Oh, hold on a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor. Go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. You said that, Mr. Connors is the council solicitor. Mr. Connors is actually, in fact, the township solicitor. The council does not have a solicitor.
Okay, so basically, so review, so when Dasty was here, Mr. Dasty, I'm sorry.
Correct.
He did all three positions. But if I have, I'm going back again, if I had an attorney and something about my case, I wanna know what the other side is doing, so to speak. And when you represent, when one is doing three, it's kinda hard.
Again, I'm not sure that I understand. There obviously is, there's a division, as you point out, under this form of government, that the mayor has the authority to deal with the issues, executive issues of the governing of the township. The legislative body is the council. And there are some checks and balances that are written into the statute in terms of the dealings between the mayor and council.
Correct.
The township attorney is a general counsel for the township. It acts on behalf of the township. It defends the township when it needs to be defended, whether that's an action brought against the mayor and council or the township itself. If there was a circumstance in which the council was an adverse position to the mayor or vice versa, that requires the issue of separate legal counsel. Certainly couldn't in a litigation matter where both parties are adversary, represent one over the other. That simply can't be done.
All right, I'll look more into it. And that's my first question, you would answer the Pemberton miscellaneous that was charged with billing.
I'm not sure I understood what your question was. I recall that you were at the last meeting.
Yeah, so,
And as I recall, you had indicated that there was a bill from our law firm, under the category miscellaneous.
From miscellaneous.
For the sake of it, you might have said $2,500 or $3,000.
sorry to interrupt, there was several of those on each bill list for the month, for $2,000 plus. And all this
Okay,
other-
and what I explained at the time was miscellaneous is a general category when the billing isn't relative to a particular file number, or it could be a litigation matter, it could be a redevelopment matter. Any matter that doesn't fit within a particular file is billed to the category of miscellaneous. And while the bill list may have said, and I don't know what the bill list said, it might have been a certain amount due under that category, the municipality, in fact, is provided with a detailed itemization for every category for which a bill has been generated. So the Township of Pemberton would receive from our law firm an itemization of what generated the bill, the time it took, down to 1/6 of an hour, and what attorney worked on it. That breakdown is provided in every single bill.
Okay, so as that's the case, then I'm not gonna request that breakdown, because on the bill list, it breaks down, it was detailed, what was charged to the town, against the township,
And I
except
think that's
that
for,
one category.
and again, I don't know what the bill is, that comes out of the CFO's office or the clerk's office. I don't know exactly how it's listed, and it may do that in terms of brevity. Some towns might just list the law firm in that particular building, a total amount. But the bill that's received by the municipality, the bill which can be reviewed by every member of council as well as the mayor, is itemized, so that the client knows exactly the time spent and what, caused that bill to be the amount that it is.
Thank you for the answer.
And I have a copy, I went back after your comment, and to make sure, in fact, each bill, as you can see, is itemized, description, hours, amount, and the attorney representing that particular matter.
We can't do all that stuff up.
I know, but my question is, on the bill list, I'm just gonna make this up, housing, Dasty, this paperwork, Dasty, but everything was so itemized in the bill list, except that one category, Pemberton miscellaneous, $2,000, $3,000, $1,000, $500, it was all over the place.
There's no, we haven't itemized the bill list.
Well, here it is, I have the bills for February, March, they were the months that you raised questions.
Right.
They're no different than any other month since January of this year.
There's nothing on this that says Pemberton miscellaneous.
Yes, there is.
Okay,
Pemberton miscellaneous, 2025.
and what was under that?
Well, I'm not gonna read each item, but that particular billing for that was $1,295. That was February 25th. On March 11th, because the bills, I believe, are paid or reviewed twice a month. I'm sorry. Miscellaneous 2025 for March 11th was $2,878. March 25th was $2,619. But there's an itemization.
In the CFO's office?
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
And it could be overall, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't wanna step out of line here, but just, I asked for those bills too, and, you know, and they all seem legitimate to me, some were phone conversations.
Yeah, but you saw that, but
Yeah,
just looking
but-
at my shoe,
Well,
all you see is Pemberton
let me
miscellaneous.
go back in 2024, how many miscellaneous legal bills did you approve? Do you know?
From a law firm,
Yes, yes, how many?
I'll take a look.
That'll be 2024, 2023, 2022.
Yes.
18, 19, 16.
Yeah, I mean,
Didn't just happen.
Okay, all right, well, thank you.
and
Thank you for your question.
if I may, why I got the floor here, you know, you asked another question about how much legal expenses were spent this year, and we're only about 150 higher than 2024 thousand, and we know why that was, you know, so I know that was one of your questions from last time, and since I got the floor still, you know, when Jack has lawsuits, he's not represented by Mr. Connors, a separate attorney goes to him for his lawsuits, so there's no conflict there, if that's what you're
Initially, he was.
What's that?
Initially, he was represented by the
Until Mr. Dasky's firm became the solicitor, and then that changed, Jiff assigned, I don't wanna speak out of turn, but he was assigned special counsel for every lawsuit to help stop any conflicts.
Thank you.
No, it's not a waste of time, I love talking to you.
I'll be here waiting outside. All right.
Thank you very
we'll
much.
talk. Thank you.
Hi, Victoria Reynolds from Brown House. My question is, something is really bothering me about the whole January 1st situation. The JIF letter was presented on, or it was dated October 28th. So, if you look at the JIF letter, there's an expectation that someone is not going to be able to work here, perhaps after January 1st, that they're not gonna have the right coverage that is required by this township in order to serve the public. So from October 28th to January 1st, what have we done in terms of securing our technology? I mean, in a corporate environment, in a public and private entity, any business, if an employee is anticipated to be released for cause, basically they would be presented with a letter and escorted out of the building. So, that not being the case in this regard, we have from October 28th to January 1st, where someone conceivably, even with all of the alleged divestiture of assets and whatever else is going on that we don't know about, what is happening to preserve our technology so someone's not walking out of here with a hard drive full of private information that could conceivably be used against, 20-some thousand residents in the future by someone?
Marie, unfortunately, and Sister and I have had extensive conversations about this on a number of occasions. There's nothing we can do. I know that you don't want to hear it, the residents don't want to hear it, but there literally is nothing we can do. The mayor is an elected official. And the only way for the mayor to be removed is either through a recall, which we've tried and failed twice, or the mayor resigns, which that's his decision to make. We cannot coerce him, we cannot force him, we can't make him do that. It's entirely up to him. But But as a council, there is no actions we can take. We cannot limit his access to the building or to technology. We can't limit his access to files, we can't take away his key fob, we can't take away his township vehicle, with or without insurance.
Well, that's another question. I mean, the liability of just that. Any minor mistake that's made at this point, how do we cover that? How do we indemnify all
And
that?
unfortunately, it's in our code that the mayor or any public official that works in the township is indemnified by the township, regardless of whether or not you have insurance through JIF or another carrier.
So we're still liable for everything?
Correct.
Except for,
Well, there are exceptions, and you can refer to the township code with regard to indemnification. There are exceptions, just as there are exceptions in any insurance policy. Willful acts, for instance, not negligence, but willful acts would not be covered. There are certain other aspects that are not covered. They're not covered for acts that might be brought by the township against an employee. Employees are not covered for that. Only the defense of those from other parties. So that's simply just the way it is, and as the council president has outlined, the mayor is an elected office. There's no power of any member of the governing body to remove any other member of the governing body or elected office. And so, whether the mayor stays as mayor for the remaining part of his term is the mayor's decision to do so. There's nothing that the governing body can do about that.
so the only thing that we're
They're
counting
elected by
on,
the people, the mayor, the township council can't usurp that.
so the only thing we're counting on at that point is that we would indemnify him for anything that wasn't willful.
Hi, Pat Guthrie, Birmingham. I just would like to reiterate on, 343 and 344. My understanding when Alex asked about those two, resolutions, that it had something to do with the DOD contamination access. When I look at the properties, it's like along, Junction Road from the corner of like where the dentist office is. What type of contamination is there, and is that something that, the DOD, the military, is actually gonna go in and clean up? Like, how do they get contamination on that part of the property?
If it's the PFAS contamination, it's there for civil engineers that are coming in to put test wells in those two different locations.
And then I just would like to reiterate on something that I brought up at a prior council meeting having to do with stipends. I do not believe the township is using, the phrase stipend properly. It seems like stipends are like given here and there for extra work here. First, I'd like to know where the stipend money comes from. Is it something that's coming out of our tax dollars? And if you look up the definition of a stipend is a set sum of money that is paid to an individual to help defray expenses, including, stipends to include students, intern, researchers, and clergy. It usually, stipends are a set amount of money given to an individual to help defray living expenses such as room and board or other expenses related to that specific purpose. It's, given for education, like travel pay. You're familiar with the government. You get so much for mileage, your food allowance, room and board. Nowhere in here, in all of the definition of a stipend, does it say that stipends are used to pay for, Christmas parties. I mean, fine and dandy, a Christmas party's done and our tax dollars are being used for it. But, or if it's money that's kind of put into a pot that everybody pitched into, that's fine. But utilizing the word stipend is totally incorrect. And I am curious, where does the stipend money come from?
So I'll use the affordable housing program for an example. I know that caused a little bit of turmoil earlier in the year. So those stipends are paid to individuals that are managing the affordable housing program, and it comes out of grant money that goes to the affordable housing program. We don't pay for that. So for any of the stipends we have, and Harry, I think you might have some more information on this than I do, or Josh, you might. Most of the stipends that we pay come out of the programs that are being managed. They don't come out of our budget or out of the taxpayer's pocket.
So like, let's say Rosemary has a project that she has to do, having to do with this housing project. Then that stipend comes out of the money granted for that
Correct.
housing project.
And by law, I believe it's 20% has to be used for.
And for that, for affordable housing, I know the number was 25% was
25%,
allowable
yeah.
for expenses and stuff.
Okay, so you can justify that, being that she is doing a project around that. How do you justify the money coming out to pay for a party?
I don't believe so.
I mean, literally, when it was just mentioned here.
Mrs. Guthrie, the mayor
using
using
it
the
as a
correct
stipend.
term, that money is not stipend money, the money was earned through a safety incentive. It is given to the township through the JIF, and it's when the township employees meet certain safety incentive goals. They have a 2,500, no, it's more than, I think it's over 3,000, that the township gets each year if all the employees meet certain training goals, and stuff like that. It is not a stipend. That
Okay,
was
so the
the
mayor
And-
just
and
misspoke.
I thought I
It's
said
phrase
safety,
stipend.
but if I did say
No,
stipend,
you
it
said
was a
stipend,
mistake.
that's why it kind of threw
Right,
me for a
it is
minute,
not a
and I
stipend,
wanted
the
to bring it up.
money comes, it's an incentive that is, the employees earn by meeting their training goals and other safety incentive goals.
And see, that totally makes sense.
Yes,
In which case I was like, how do you justify
yes, and
utilizing the word
the
stipend?
holiday party and some other events are used. It is an allowable use for that money through the JIF.
Yeah, because I mean, I know doing accounting, that all money should be accounted for, and that is something that does not legally fall under a stipend. That's it. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful Merry Christmas. Thank you.
You too, Patty, and some of the other stipends I know, because we have some on the bill list tonight, are people have licenses for certain things here, so they get a little extra for having that license. I know at one
And that could
time,
fall under education.
yeah, at one time I had a boiler's license that I got a little extra for from my company and stuff like that, you know, so, but there are some legitimate reasons.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Salker.
Waiting. Anybody else? Walk all the way up.
All right, I just have two things and then a comment. First is the that truck for $550. Did anybody look at how much we would use it? How long it would last, and what's the difference if we just used rental truck where we didn't have to worry about maintaining it or anything like that, and just rent it when it's needed? Has
Josh,
anyone done
you think
any
you're the
analysis
expert,
on
right?
that?
I get this for you, Mike, if you want me to.
Okay.
So I did talk to the Department of Public Works, 2 days after our previous meeting. I hope it's wrong, but the rental figures were astronomically crazy. I wanna say every time, to rent the truck, I was told it was around $3,900. How many times we used the truck throughout the year? On average, they'd like to get the truck on the road about 100 days out of the year. That's what was told to me by DPW. Yeah, I was boggled too. About $390,000 for 1 year for rental.
And also what we're looking at, and Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, is we're looking at purchasing this truck, but then going out to other municipalities and use our truck as a shared service and trying to recoup some of the money that we're gonna spend on buying the truck. So those discussions are happening as well.
Next is this copier. One of the questions that wasn't asked is this new being added to the inventory, or is it being replaced? If it's new, how do we survive the past 20 years without it? Or is it just it's great recreational department person that we're overpaying for wants it. It's
Yeah, I'll take it.
$2,000. It's $2,000 a
I was
year.
addressing during, when we review the bill list, but, I'm a big no on that lease, cause we already have copiers. The fact that they moved from one location to another unwarranted and never asked, never came before council, I'm a no. We don't need it. And I think we might have a,
That's fine, I'm just wondering, because that past 20 years, if we're adding another copier to our inventory, and the size of the government really hasn't changed.
they have one at the seniors, they have one at the senior center. They had one up here, I don't know where that one was. They don't need another one.
And then last is this whole insurance thing, and starting January 1st. Let me just say, most veterans are honorable people. Honorable person would take the humility and resign if they're gonna cause more liability in their position here. So that's all I'm gonna say. Most veterans are honorable. This one is not.
Comment on Mrs. Phillips?
We thought you forgot.
I'm very, very busy, very tired. I will, gosh. Good evening, everybody in general. At least I was able to come tonight because of the snow. The first I'm going to touch is, we have to do something in our town. We need a VA, please. If our mayor doesn't want to hire a VA, can the council take it over? Somebody can take it over? We got it. We need a person who represents us. I beg. We got the money. And Pasabella will be the best, and we're not in this trouble right now where we are. Now, the second it is, what is the future for Pemberton after January 1st? I hope will be the best, not the worst, because we have to focus for the best. I know if we put our mayor in position, the people select him. I understand, I respect veterans. I'm a widow for a veteran, and a mother of a veteran. But I be honest with you, if I was in that position right now, I do not want to do more damage to my people who put me there. And we failed because that's the answer. It's sad. I'm going to touch right now the Sycamore Hall. Can you update me in there what is sold or we will get in the future? I know I didn't see all the empty houses, I still see them in the same. And I just hope, I know, I'm a taxpayer and I know how much I pay a year. Yes, please go after these people. We got plenty money in there just throwing and we not even just go collect it. The way I look at it is the mortgage companies and the bank, they are ignoring us. And that's not right because we have to, yes, beautify our place. And the only thing we can beautify our place, fix all the houses are empty. And be honest with you, we're not going to need no more houses in here. We need to bring the young generation here and show them what we got for their children. I know that we got a base next door, and we should approach them what they can do for us. We were in line for many years with them. And continuing, they can open 68 all the way to Fordich Road. Because this is what we need. It's not fair for the people. Like right now, if I wanna go to the veteran cemetery and see my husband and see my relatives there, I gotta go to the back road, to Cookstown Road. When I used to go, yes, on Trent Road, all the way down and just zoom down. I'm not able to go to Ricetown. I used to go bowling, belong to a bowling league. I cannot go there anymore, and it's not fair. And we as a township, we should enforce our federal government to open our roads. And probably will be the best. Probably will be more business coming up in this place. And I just want to wish to all the best Christmas and a safe and God bless New Year's. And I just hope in myself, I figured out tonight when I came in here, I was going to receive good news, but seeing they still news. Nothing we can do about it. I just hope that after this is the last meeting of the year, I figured that we're going to get here good things. And hoping the first of the year will be the best for us. We will see, but we need, somebody gotta go and look. If this side doesn't want to hire a VA, guess what? Somebody gotta take it over and do the job. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, so good evening, my name is Michelle Foreman, and it's good to be here tonight. Glad I made it, glad y'all made it. Okay, first question I asked, which I asked 3 times, this is the 3rd time, is there anything anybody can do to get me the video of the CDs that I go from, of these meetings? That's number 1. I have to say that they hired 2 new people in the office at the time. They said they're not gonna give them anymore. Or when I was sent, I was told, anyway, that I remember, okay? So, want the smart up version with the video, and I wanna know if there's anything we can do about it. That's question number 1, and I will not forget to get an answer before I leave. Okay, 2, the Economic Development Committee met last Wednesday. I called to find out when they were gonna meet. They said Wednesday. I found out from Josh's meeting that they actually didn't meet last Wednesday, that was canceled, but that they did meet Tuesday. And my question is, if the date changed, how can I find out that they're gonna change the date of the Economic Development Committee? How can I be informed? Is this advertised? And who is the developer that you met with on Tuesday? Who decides who's on this committee? That's one of the questions. The other thing is on the resolutions 336/2025. Can I ask you, Mr. I'm sorry, is that okay if I call you? I'm sorry,
Matt.
President?
Matt. My name is Matt.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't pronounce your last name, I'm so sorry. It'll take me a while. Mr. President, how's that?
Michelle,
Matt, okay, Matt,
are you right with that number, 336?
You have an old agenda, that was removed.
336 was
That's the
one of,
old agenda.
I got today.
Did you get more at the back table?
No, I got this today.
It was removed after you came up to get that.
Okay. Okay, it's fine. So it was removed on purpose?
Yes.
Gotcha, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. The other question I have is, let me just clear this. Okay, just real quick. The zoning board had a meeting on solar panels over there by Newcomb and Hollandport schools. So many people that I spoke to did not know about this. My question to you guys is, if this goes through in the zoning and they approve it, does it also have to go through council before it gets finalized? That's my one question there. And, okay, let me go back to these questions if I, many people did not even know about this. Many people who should have known about it. What they wanna do is put solar panels on the, zone, landed zone for farming. Okay, we wanna get a variance or waiver for that, that's one thing. Let me hurry up and get to my ticket before I run out of time and I get beat. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is, 343 and 344. Who is asking for this access agreement on the right-of-way along Rancosis Road, Lane and Noku Avenue? I wanna know who, what's the purpose of this? And who is asking for this? And could somebody tell me what the, environmental activities are for that? And then, let me see. Oh, I wanna tell everybody that this is at the library. I can leave it here if anybody's interested. It's coming in the summertime, you know, spring, where you can send the text out to see if they have Lyme's disease. And I got this at the library the other day. And, my daughter got Lyme's disease and years of steroids and eye specialists. I took her to 20 eye specialists, she almost went blind. So it was called uveitis, the eye disease. She got it from, is that my bell or somebody else's?
No,
Okay. So this is a very serious disease sometimes. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it doesn't hurt people that bad, but sometimes it does. I'll leave this when I'm done. If you guys wanna put anything up there or put it on the wall, you can. It came from the library, okay?
All right.
All right, the other thing is, my time's up and I'm pretty much done. I'm pretty much done anyway. So, the first question.
So the videos, we don't record the videos. They're not recorded. They're on YouTube, they're broadcast, but they're not recorded.
Okay,
I didn't know that, I said I was gonna get them for you, like 2 meetings ago, and then Amy had informed me that we don't record them. I thought we did too, but we don't. So there's nothing that I can get for you to give you. They used to record them, right?
Yeah, you can go on YouTube anytime and it's right on there. You can record it yourself.
You haven't tried that yet?
Okay, here's the thing. Mr. Dewey, my husband has a computer, all my kids have a computer, I can go on the computer anytime I want.
That's true, they're on YouTube, you can always get them, they're always there.
So I did
Yeah.
watch Alex's, he did a great job doing your meeting on YouTube, I did
You
go
did a
watch that.
fantastic job, yeah.
I did watch that. Amazing, but the thing is, I've been getting CDs here, and they have audio, and they used to have video,
They don't have them anymore though.
but they still have audio that I can come get. I wanna know who made the decision to stop doing the video on these CDs, that I can't have the videos anymore. I wanna know who decided, and is there anything we can do to change that to allow me to have not only the audio,
Ms.
but also
Foreman.
the video?
Ms. Foreman,
Mrs. Foreman,
I'm sorry, Mrs. Foreman,
yes.
we discussed this back in 2023, and that's when it was decided we weren't gonna be doing the video recording. I didn't even know the system for video recording. The township doesn't use the recordings, and it takes up a lot of space, a lot of disk drive space, whatever you wanna call it, digital space to keep those recordings. So now they are available on YouTube. But I had made the decision, with the consent of the council at the time, to stop the video recording portion of what's recording on my system, because we do not use it.
When you said consent of council, I used to go to a lot of meetings, what do you mean? They took a vote on it?
No, they didn't take a vote on it. At the time, I believe I spoke with the council president.
who was the council president at that time, do you remember?
In 20, whoever, it was Donovan, I believe, yeah.
So you just asked Donovan if it's okay if you.
Michelle, we don't use that recording, and it takes up a lot of space, and at the time when you were requesting the recordings, you requested a full year at one time. It
I
took-
told you I don't have to do that, I could do it meeting by
It took me
meeting,
an
so I could
entire
take care of
day
that.
and
That was
multiple
for
discs.
one, I did not know it was gonna be a
Michelle,
problem.
we don't use the recordings, we're not required to video record the meetings, we don't use it, they're available on.
You're not
YouTube.
required, but you used to when it was in the paper.
But Michelle, I didn't realize the system was recording.
But that's not what the newspaper said.
Okay,
Because let me refresh everybody's memory. Donna from the planning board accidentally gave me a video. So they were videoing the tapes without the public knowing. Just to let you know. I'll get the newspaper
Michelle.
and I'll get it clarified, but I'm
Michelle.
not here to argue with anybody.
Michelle.
I'm just here to see
Mrs.
if there's
Foreman.
anything that we can do
Mrs.
to
Foreman,
get it back into video form.
Mrs. Foreman, I'll be honest with you, if you want my opinion.
Let me think. Do I have a choice?
Well, that would be a yes or no. I said, if you want my opinion. I'm just gonna give you my general opinion.
Okay.
If,
First of all, I'm gonna say that, I think what you're gonna say is, if I can get it on YouTube, why not file it? I have.
no, I'm gonna put it to you in a financial way. As Amy just told you, it took her an entire day, even if it
That
takes.
was one time.
Okay, and I
That I
understand,
told her I
so.
can do it meeting by meeting.
And that's
one
fine,
meeting
so
at a time.
let's just say hypothetically, it takes her an hour each time, right? So you add those
No,
hours.
she said it takes 15 minutes
I'm
instead of
just-
5. And they have 2 new helpers in the office.
So, why would we want to utilize an employee, taxpayers' money to pay an employee to do something that you can do on your own for free?
Because I like to have the hard copy, and I've been getting them for years, and I get the hard copy anyway as audio. I would like the hard copy. I'm requesting that. Is there, my question is this, not debating back and forth whether I should get them or not, or other people should get them or not. My question is real simple. Is there anything the council can do to reverse this decision to allow, because she said the council president told her she didn't have to do videos anymore. My question is there anything that anybody can do, like do an ordinance or a rule?
Mrs. Foreman, as I explained to you,
You don't have to say the same thing over and over again, I hope
Well-
you're not doing that.
Mrs. Foreman, I explained it to you once already, and I told you, if I am told otherwise by the council, I will give you the video. I will start doing it again, if I am told to do that.
So what does that mean? They have to vote on it, they have to just say, okay, and you please.
Michelle, let's do this. Let myself.
This is not a power struggle.
No.
I'm asking you a question, if you
All
say
right.
no,
I'm-
I'll move on to
I'm not
figure
gonna
out what
say
to do
yes
next.
or no, I'm gonna discuss with the other council members
Okay.
and with Amy in our IT department, because as of right now, we don't have the server space to house these
I was told
recordings.
that that's just not true.
That
You
is
can-
true.
You can give me the video and then erase it afterwards, to be honest with you. So that's just
No,
not.
I think there's also a record-keeping requirement that if we record a public meeting, it has to stay on the server for a period of time. We can't just record it and delete it. That's illegal, right?
That's correct.
Well,
So-
if they're not mandatory to do video, I don't see why they can't return it. Like, they're only mandatory to do audio.
But once we do it, legally, we have to maintain it. So let me discuss with council, Michelle, I promise you, I will get back to you, I have your number,
Like I said,
I promise you, I will get back to you with an answer.
thank you. Okay.
Economic and Business Development Council, the meeting dates are posted on the website.
They are?
Yeah,
People
they're-
I talk, I don't do that stuff, but people I talk to said they don't see it
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's on there.
Are
Yeah,
you sure?
yeah. And the people that are on there now were appointed by me as the council lead for the Economic and Business Development Council. And we do have an ordinance that highlights the roles that each individual has and where they are within the township, whether a township resident, a non-resident business owner, so there's different criteria for the different council, for the different committee members.
Okay, so with-
Last week's meeting was canceled, there was no meeting.
I thought there was a meeting on Tuesday.
No, there
I was
wasn't.
told there was a
No.
meeting.
The meeting on
Scott said there was a
the meeting on Tuesday was a subcommittee meeting with a.
Wait, what subcommittee meeting?
meaning a few council people, a community development, one member of the Economic and Development Committee, and a bunch of lawyers got together.
Oh, there was only one person from economic
Yes,
development on that
yep,
meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
The day before Josh's meeting.
It was the New Horizon people that we met with, they wanted to talk. Okay? So there was no official Economic and Development meeting.
So is it gonna be rescheduled or just again next month?
Next month.
I think,
Because I'm trying to
I
figure
believe the next, is it scheduled for the 7th? January
Yeah,
7th,
so it'll be here before our council meeting on the 7th.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.? Okay. Oh, on Wednesday?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha, okay, yeah, that's what I was told. Okay, very good, thank you very much. You guys are really,
And the two
great answering my
two
questions.
resolutions you asked about, and again, that's about the Air Force, was putting test wells in to check for PFAS.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for development?
No.
It's down the street from my house, you know how I've got to keep an eye on
It's the Air
things.
Force civil engineers are
Gotcha.
gonna put test wells
Yeah.
to monitor the PFAS, remediation, or the PFAS.
Okay, that's good, so I wanna know if I'm getting that stuff in my water. And I'm down the street, down the hill, so I could be.
Well, I'm sure come, next year, they may have another round of testing in certain areas for people with wells and stuff.
Okay,
Keep an eye out.
I will, I always do, I try, I try.
We know.
Okay, so, let's see. Is there any other questions you guys remember me asking?
The zoning board, solar panels?
Oh, very good, Matthew. Nah. Sorry, your name tag does say Matthew, by the way.
I know that was advertised, I don't know the exact date it was advertised, but it was advertised.
But most people didn't know anything about these solar plants going over there.
Well, that, I'm sorry, Danny.
The previous month, it was, they weren't prepared and they canceled it and it was scheduled for last week.
Okay,
But it was advertised.
okay.
And Michelle, the further that, after Danny, solar panels are an agricultural use in the state of New Jersey. So they're not gonna be needing a variance if it is a farm. Solar is a type of farming.
But why did you
Granted
go
under
there
the,
for
hold on,
variance?
granted
Is that a
under,
mistake?
it might not be, if it's zoned agricultural, there's not too much you're gonna be able to do. If they're asking for a variance of some sort, that's for something else, I wouldn't know. Mixed use variance, so that, okay, it's mixed use
Yeah,
now,
because
so.
they wanna put the solar panels on the agriculture property and the GCLI.
Yeah, Josh, I believe it's part commercial and.
And that would make sense to take it back to, to take it into the agriculture, but if it's a fully agricultural, Michelle, under the Right to Farm Act of 1964, which is then updated in 2012, you can farm solar all day long.
It's mixed use,
I understand, but I'm just letting you know.
so they're looking for variance. Are you saying that was a mistake? That's good?
It's mixed use.
Okay, so they have to get a variance on, if they get that variance, do they have to bring, this is a question I already asked. If they get that variance, do they have to bring that decision to council, for council to vote on it? And why not? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
No,
I'll figure that out later. You don't
Zoning
even have to
Board of
answer.
Adjustment is their own authority, we don't have to.
Huh?
We don't have to listen to anything from Zoning Board of Adjustment, they're their own authority.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They can put solar panels next to your house and my house if they want.
If it falls within their jurisdiction.
Okay, just questions I have. Okay, any other questions you guys can remember? Are we good?
We're good, so we're all done and we answered all.
Okay, I think we are good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time tonight. Very good answers, very good remembering all my questions.
You gonna let me go? You all right?
So you all heard me getting salted. Feelings are hurt.
Who appointed the economic development committee? How did that?
get started.
Yeah. You want me to wait?
You what?
Is that your only question, Mr. George?
No.
Okay. Ask all your questions first, and then we'll go through and answer.
Okay, the other thing, what are we doing with the, development of Wawa, the store, and the fast food place? They were supposed to be here today, weren't they? Were they taken off the agenda?
Yes, they were.
Why?
Because we're still negotiating the amendment that was on the agenda. It's still being negotiated. It wasn't ready to be on the agenda.
Well, the last meeting I was at, I really wasn't satisfied with the answers I was getting. I operated a business in Pemberton for, 50 years. I'm probably the only, business in Pemberton that ever won an award from a president of the United States. So we ran a fairly well-established business. It wasn't just a small business. We were pretty good size. It was concerning me that's happening with the Wawa. I was planning to build another 30,000 square feet in Pemberton as a young man. But I kept on going to the meeting that Wawa came to, and I just came to the assumption, Dad, we'll never be able to afford to build in Pemberton after what I saw we were putting Wawa through that was built in, right outside the borough. So, did Wawa cancel this meeting or did we? See, when meetings like this are canceled with an entity like Wawa, I remember when they did the Wawa inside the borough, the attorney they used was Judge Hart. Very expensive attorney, because I've used him a couple times. Then the engineers were there for all the meetings. I went to 3 meetings with the Wawa that had to do with were they going to use retention or detention drainage. Finally, Wawa said, you tell us what to use, we'll put whatever you want there. And that took 3 meetings. Now this Wawa has been going on for about how long? 3 years? Why aren't we able to do something? I mean, it doesn't seem to be a brainiac detail to me that people in Browns Mills would love to be able to get fuel after 8 o'clock. I mean, it would just be great. I don't really care about the food store as much as I would like to see people in Browns Mills be able to get fuel for their cars, campers, and trucks. I ran a trucking company. And it was so easy if a truck was leaving and needed something to stop at a Wawa and get fuel. But the truck stop was always open for me. But residents in Browns Mills that have to work at night, oh, it'd be great to have a gas station that's open after 10. So we need to get started. I know it's been at least 3 years I can think of for this project. Either we need to fire somebody or get this project started. If you keep doing this with Wawa, you won't have that little Wawa and you won't have a super Wawa. I moved executives for Wawa at Father and Son. Greatest people you could ever move, in my opinion. The one man asked me if I would move his horse mess. His horse dookie, what do you call it? Manure. His horse manure. And I looked at him and said, you gonna pay the same price? You'll end up paying the same price for me to move manure as I'm doing your furniture. He said, I want the manure. And I moved it. You know, I was happy to move it. So you're dealing with a company that's known for excellence. And we've been lollygagging this thing for years. I'm being told that this Wawa may bring in $40,000 in tax. Even if it brings in $20,000 in tax, that would mean everybody who pays tax in Pemberton's tax bill would be affected in a positive manner. And the last meeting that I was at, the last meeting you had here, I was not satisfied with anything that anybody had to say in getting this project running. So what are you going to do to get this project running?
I don't think that we have the weight to insist on a shopping center too. If we want that, we may have to get a new development. But to get a fast food place, another one, and a Wawa in Browns Mills, I just can't think how appreciative citizens like me would be. And I did drive through Browns Mills at 5 o'clock today. Yes, I had to wait the light, but I'm not gonna consider it traffic. Cause I have driven through real traffic in my life before. We have got to do something to modernize our township. You know, and if we've got to understand, or you've got to understand, not me, because I already know it. This country's going through hard economic times right now. And I blame that on a certain person after the last meeting, but it's not his fault. It's the country is going through a hard time. Suppose you can't get another food store, we're just not gonna develop anything then? Is that our attitude?
No, sir. So the meeting that we were to have was with New Horizons, the developer.
Right.
The Wawa and Taco Bell are going to happen. It's just a matter of them breaking ground. The amendment we're speaking of is for the second and third phase of that development. Has no impact on the Wawa and the Taco Bell.
All right, so we'll definitely get a fast food Taco
So
Bell.
that's still happening.
Well, why aren't we moving it? How long has it been, Matt? Or Cruz? How long has it been?
A long time since that last administration was in power. How long did they have it?
I mean,
How long did that last?
No, you're
How long did
correct.
that last administration have it?
At least I think of 3 years, the last administration.
How long was St. Patriarchy there?
Oh, 16, I'm sorry. I get
Well, how
it.
long has that actually been empty? Well,
Thank you.
they didn't do nothing. Now we got a council up here that's trying to do something.
Yeah,
Well, we
but-
got
let's-
that.
let's
We are,
not
but
try to do
here's
something.
the thing, it's,
Because
When
that
we're
last
trying-
administration was crap. And you
what
know
we're
it.
trying to get away from.
You want me to?
No, I'm just trying to tell you. I don't need gas at 10 o'clock at night. So I've been here all my life. I
Well,
don't need
somebody
gas.
does. I mean, a lot of people work at night.
We're trying not to give the town away. So that's why we're having these negotiations on this Fifth Amendment to the redevelopment deal with New Horizons. Because the deal as it is right now, or what they want to amend, it's just, we're just like handing it over. And we're trying to get away from that. We're trying to put some protections in place for the township. But the Wawa and Taco Bell, that's a done deal. That part of the redevelopment deal is done. It's just a matter of them breaking ground. If you remember, we had to get Mr. Elliott out of that, so that held it up, or else they would have broken ground already. So we are moving forward with that phase of the project. It's just a matter of time.
So we can look forward to a groundbreaking with the Taco Bell and the Wawa?
You have any input on this?
Can I throw something out?
You don't want my input.
All right.
I want it, and I'm a citizen. I want the truth.
Mr. Georgia, this is a council meeting. I've been reminded many times, it's not the mayor's meeting.
Well, I'm a citizen.
I think the longer we delay this, the more the likelihood that the developer's gonna walk away.
And I believe that. You know, you have cities.
Steve, what's to say there's not another developer patiently waiting for that may already have a grocery store ready to roll?
And then we'll be going through another 3 or 4
Harry,
year situation like we are now.
you cannot have.
You won't.
Oh, Harry, he might.
Give me bye-bye.
He might. Harry, we don't know the future. But I have seen Wawa leave town where they have no Wawa.
Steve, I understand that, but one of the biggest things I heard when we've been talking about this is
Yeah.
the sheer gasoline necessity, absolutely. But you know what's more a necessity than gasoline? Food. The percentage of our residents that can't afford to grocery shop in Browns Mills and are buying that fuel during the day to drive and spend their time out of town to purchase their groceries to come back into town.
Harry, I am not gonna argue that point with you. That's viable. But still,
Listen, nobody wants that developed.
you
more than
can't
us.
force a food.
I've stared at that for 20 years driving on the road. 20 years. It's horrible. Nobody wants to develop more than the 5 of us, but we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right. There's too many things, Steve, that has sold this town down the road that could have been done right. and they were done wrong. Case in point, and I bring it up all the time, the warehouse. Yeah, we got $500,000 a year, good for us. We gave away $700,000 a year, times 30 years. Do the math on that.
Was that we gave that, or did that go through the county? That is a question. That's honestly.
Tax money that will be owed to us. There's a percentage that goes to the town,
Yeah,
but that's tax money that we gave away.
well, I don't believe we can afford to give it away, but we can't afford to let businesses just walk out. Perry, your father was there to see what that Wawa, if I remember correctly, with that first Wawa went through the bill, there is no way. I've been a resident all of my life in Pemberton, and it was so scary for me after seeing what our township government put Tom H through, and that Wawa. It was too scary for me to try to build in Pemberton. And we
Shame, that
got-
was that current administration. That was a personal vendetta there that got involved.
If you think that I'm gonna argue with that,
You'll agree.
yeah, but I'm not talking about the past. I want this administration to nail this down. I'm a taxpayer. That's all I want to do, is nail it down. And I feel it's just flip-flopping too much. This administration has been in power now, what, 3 years?
3 years.
No.
No. 1 year.
1 year.
1 year.
No.
Yeah.
You know, the Mayor Patriarch was unelected. How long ago? I know Tom, I know.
There was
him
only
getting
2
old.
Republicans that got elected.
I'm
And
care.
Mr. Gardner was the council president, Paul Dietrich, and.
Oh, wait, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican.
Well, I know, but I mean.
I don't care. I just
We
want-
had a lot of bad 3-2 votes.
I-
But let me just throw something out before this
just listen to
gets
Dan.
crazy. There's no problem with the Wawa, Taco Bell's ready, okay? But what happens is, Mark, is people make promises and they're verbal. Okay, nothing in writing, well, this is what they promised me. So one of the promises was, when they build the buildings, we were gonna do the landscaping. Now, does that make sense?
Okay.
$600,000, right, for the
Okay.
landscaping. So why would this council, it wasn't us that made, well, oh, we're gonna take care of the landscaping. And then the next we're gonna take care of is reconstruction of Pemberton Browns Mills Road, which belongs to the county. So here's the, oh yeah, we're gonna take care of the intersection and all this, we're gonna take care of it. Well, we can't rip up a county road.
No.
But this is verbal deals that they've made. Nothing's in writing, it was verbal. Well, verbal don't mean nothing to me. You know, you're gonna make a promise to me, write it down. Because when it doesn't work or it doesn't happen, you got a piece of paper that says this is what you're gonna do. So, you know, why would we do landscaping for a developer? The developer, when he came in here, there was plenty of people in here, and when they did their dog and pony show, this is your new shop, this is your new grocery store. And the room went nuts.
Oh, I'd love to have a grocery store, Judge.
Well,
I'm
but,
sure everybody in here would love to have another.
but this is how they got
grocery store.
the vote to get it, because here's your new grocery store. We're gonna put 7 stores in, we're gonna bring a Wawa in, and we're gonna bring something else in. At the time, Taco Bell wasn't the thing. Well, now there's no grocery store, and if you read the agreement, 36 months after they're completed, they'll do a grocery store. Well, you're a businessman, and I'm a businessman. I guarantee you, whoever does it, it'll probably be sold when it's half done. They'll take their money and run, and we ain't never gonna see a grocery store, right? So now the big project is, oh, we're gonna bring Tractor Supply. So you wanna destroy a family business across the street that's been here 85 years, that sells nuts and bolts, fertilizer, and lumber. But you're gonna put a Tractor Supply in to hurt a family that's been here in business for 85 years. One of, you know, and I'm very vocal, they screwed Tommy Inge like you said. This man and myself, he did most of the work. They need, 3 acres? Tommy Inge's is 3.5. Don't you think Tommy needs a payback? Why doesn't Tractor Supply buy that lot from Tommy and build the Tractor Supply? Because I'll guarantee you, if you have a Tractor Supply, a grocery store, a Wawa, and a Taco Bell, the traffic has been backed all the way up to my driveway, because if there's an accident downtown trying to make a right-hand turn
Yeah.
that the county took away, right? So you won't be able to get through town. From 3 to 6:30 now, it's a chore. And then if you have an accident because somebody's pulling out of the country store or trying to get out of the post office, it's backed up.
Councilman, if we have an accident, it can be a chore. But if you've been away from Pemberton for 30 years, you can come back and not get lost. There's something wrong with that lack of development.
I love it.
Really?
No, we don't.
No,
Well,
we
let
can
me
love
ask you-
it, but we can love it,
We love it.
but we need more
No, we
than
don't need
houses
more.
built to help our tax dollars.
No, we
That's
don't.
what we have.
You know, we have a spending problem, not a revenue problem. And when I was growing up, Browns Mills, there was 800 residents in this town in the wintertime. Easter weekend, everybody came from the city and worked on their summer houses. And in the summer, there was about 5,500 people in this town. But this is a fact. You had a Ford dealership, you had a Chevrolet dealership, you had the bakeries, you had the butcher shops, and the town was thriving. Right? 25 sailboats out on the lake, renting a canoe all day for $2. You had Catalanos, remember Catalanos?
Yeah.
That was the hot spot in town, right? And then they built the beach. So I'm not gonna believe that we need rooftops. We need better government, less spending, wasting money. You know how many projects have been done in this town for developers with no money in escrow and ran water and sewer, again, for the developer on the backs of the taxpayers?
For Councilman Dewey,
Yes, sir.
we still have been waiting a long, long time
Okay,
to
I
get
understand it.
another
but-
food store, a Wawa, and a fast food restaurant.
Council President.
It is bordering
But,
ridiculous.
but see, this deal was bad,
Can I clarify a couple facts Councilman Dewey made?
Bring it on.
You had mentioned the developer coming in here saying, yeah, grocery store. If I remember right, the grocery outlet people were sitting right here in the audience, and the developer did have signed contracts for that grocery outlet to be here in this town. There was a national scale back of stores, and we were unfortunately, hit with that scale back. So it wasn't like they came in here and falsely pretended that they had something. That's not fact.
Well,
They did have something, sir, I'm speaking. The other thing is, when you said landscaping, you kind of confused me a little bit. When you said that, it kind of made me think that we were gonna have public works over there cutting grass and manicuring bushes and stuff like that. And what you, I think, really mean is we were gonna be putting curbs in, sidewalks and lighting, not doing landscaping,
They
long
said
term.
landscaping, we were gonna take care of the landscaping.
But what do you mean? Can you clarify?
Sidewalks, whatever the landscape it is for the front of the building, the front of the property.
Right, along the street, on the easement, we would be putting curb, sidewalks, and I think the development
But why
approach.
should taxpayers be paying for that when it's the same old
I'm just
problem?
trying,
I know,
Mr.
but-
Dewey, I'm just trying to get clarification. Like I said, when you said landscaping, I thought we were gonna have public works in there cutting grass,
No.
trimming bushes and stuff like that. I just wanna clarify that that's not what you were trying to say.
They promised to do the landscaping, install it. They promised them to fix Pemberton Browns Mills Road. It's a county road.
All I know,
And when it went through, sorry, Mark, when it went through when it went through the planning board, it did go through the county people too, and they've already given approval on the whole plans.
so the county's approved the whole plan?
Yes, sir, it's part of the planning board process.
But the county wasn't on the hook to pay $800,000 for road improvement and stuff, you know.
All I know.
Okay, I mean, let's face it, no matter what, this council wants to make sure this town doesn't pay any more out of their pocket, or your pocket, or her pocket, or anybody else's in the
All I
audience's
know in
pocket.
my business dealings
Yeah.
with some of the, and I've dealt with Wawa, best company, one of the better companies.
Wawa's not the problem.
But we still don't have one. Remember, the last mayor didn't want it because he wanted the pumps. He felt he knew a better way to make a Wawa.
Well, that's what happens when you get geniuses in here that, you know. I
Well,
mean,
I'm not gonna talk about these people,
I'm
because
talking
they
about all of
can't
them.
be
I'm
our
talking
neighbors.
about all of them. I mean, you have people doing real estate deals that should have no business doing real estate.
Councilman, my question is, why has it taken over a year to get this project started?
How long has he been up there?
Come on, Marty.
Come on.
Turn
This
your
has
head
been
to-
over a
Turn
year.
your head to the right. There you
To
go.
the right? He's
When
one
the buzzer
man.
go off?
Yeah, well, who held up the barber, or the laundromat? Couldn't work with the guy to get him out of the laundromat.
Got it. Council.
No, the mayor.
And, no,
No, it's the
council
mayor.
and the mayor.
No, the
And we
mayor.
we shouldn't
Get
let
the
it get
facts
held
straight.
up. We should
No,
let
it's the mayor that couldn't work with the laundromat guy to get him the.
Anderson.
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 And the previous
If
administration.
these guys,
Why didn't they make a deal for the laundromat guy to start with before this all started? They would have had him out of here.
Anderson, that's why we have a council, and that's why we have the mayor. That's why we have a council, and that's why they're not working together. No, they're not working together.
Well, you ain't looked at him.
All right.
He answered the question.
Hey, Joe, Joe Anderson.
Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, give it to him.
They're not working together.
Who's they? I'm talking about the mayor.
All of them.
What can the mayor do?
5-minute recess.
Yeah. You just tell Matt on blaming this council, that's all you do.
No.
Bullshit. Get out of here. Just like this guy right here. This guy comes here every week trying to help out, blaming the council on something. When you was on the council, you sucked. Yeah, that's why we're in the business we're in now.
Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
That's why the shopping center's the way it is, because when you was on council, you sucked.
Yeah, good.
Joe.
Where were you,
Yeah.
where's your cost
Yeah,
position?
did you get anything done?
Yes.
What? What did you get done? Huh? Why you still sitting up there?
Joe.
Don't tell me. I lived here all my life too, and I watched the shit you done on the administration. I put that previous administration. Don't tell me.
We want to hear your public comment.
You got that, right? Uneducated, uninformed, did that. Okay, my time is up.
All you want to do is blame the council. You never heard this man. He's the reason why that shopping center is like this. Because he don't know how to work with people.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Go to the bathroom.
You know where the fault lies, right there with that mayor. But you just want to keep blaming that council. That's all you was up to. Bullshit.
I don't know, Joe. Okay.
Right in here, just want to blame that council for what's going on. You never turned to your head and talked to that mayor.
As a business person, you understand another grocery store is gonna make 2 grocery stores fail, because there's not enough population here to handle 2 grocery stores. If you were that great a businessman.
All my life, I've had to deal with a lot of competition. All my life. All my life. I was called, hold on. I had to deal with North America, United Band. Do you know what? Do you know what?
The library.
I'll give it one No, no, I ran Bernie Sanders on you. Yeah. And I guess teach you. Okay. Oh. One something about Thank you, Don. Thank you.
Interesting. This thing started.
Yeah, that's what you're on the road.
Next up on the agenda, meeting minutes, regular meeting minutes of October 15th, special meeting minutes of December 17th, and regular meeting minutes of December 3rd.
Move to approve the minutes as read.
Second.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes for October 15th and November 17th, and I abstained from December 3rd, as I was not present. Consent agenda, anybody have an appetite for consent agenda for the resolutions?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes. Okay, resolution 345 is 2025, consent to reappointment of Candace Pennywell as Chief Financial Officer. Discussion? Comments?
I'm gonna abstain from that vote, that's why I voted.
Oh,
Because the position that we got put in to get to this is over there. And we were never, they make the deal, and we have to live with it. And again, I think we should have been consulted on it. But I'm gonna abstain from voting.
We have a motion?
Make a motion to approve 345, 2025.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Abstain.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes. Resolution 2346, 2025, authorizing the purchase of one new jet vac truck model number 900 ECO for the Department of Public Works in the total amount of $565,865.87. Questions, comments, discussion?
I was one of the ones that was hesitant to pass this until I had a conversation with Mr. Norton down back, and he went into some details for me about the use of this truck. One of the biggest things I wanted to know is how many storm drains, because we were hearing how much this truck was going to be used. Don't quote me on the exact number, I'm plus or minus a few, but I believe he quoted me, we have 1,061 drains in this town that we're responsible for. He also went on to tell me that the state has a requirement that we maintain 25% of those drains every year. That's all we gotta do is 25% of 1,061 drains, and the state won't fine us. However, if Pemberton Township maintains the state mandated 25%, our storm drain system will fail. Our storm drain systems, as we all know the roads in Pemberton Township, we have numerous dead-end streets. Well, the drains are dead-end too. If we don't maintain them more than once a year, or once actually every 4 years, if you go by 25%, our storm system will fail. Our roads will flood. Some of our basements will flood. And without having to beat this anymore to death, he overly satisfied my curiosity to put me over the edge. He says, I am not happy about spending $565,000 on a truck. If I could get one for $400,000, I would certainly do it. And then he made a statement that really hit home, and he said, Perry, the one thing you seem to forget is I'm a taxpayer too. He said, I don't go out to bid on these things and the price tags come back in easily. He says, I'm spending my money just as much as I'm spending the rest of the residents. And the sincerity in his voice put me over the edge. This man is 100% confident on what we need to do, not what the state requires. We go above and beyond state required expectations to get our storm systems done. So I wanted to be able to put that on the record for the residents, because I was very reserved in passing this last time, and I'm completely satisfied now.
Okay. Again, and I'm not gonna do the skies falling and all this BS that we're used to, but I talked to a couple people, and of course I'm not gonna mention any names, but he says, you know, Danny, we still got about 2-3 years out we can get out of this truck. He says, you know, it's old, but it does the job, needs some tweaking, but the truck runs good. I said, okay. So, beginning of the year, we ordered him a new dump truck that we ain't got yet. How much was that? 400,000? We have no idea where our budget is. Because, you know, with the shutdown of the government for as long as it was all about healthcare. So I don't know if Jack has any figures from what position we're in with healthcare and all the other stuff that we have going on, you know, with deductibles and this and that. It ain't gonna be no zero taxes this year. The insurance could certainly go up over 30%. We don't know yet. You know, talking to Harry, well, it's gonna take 18 months to get the truck. Well, why don't we wait a year and a half and then buy the truck? I don't care if it goes up, but we don't know what position we're gonna be in. Last year, we never got a budget done till after August. You know, and there's a lot of bad stuff going on with insurance companies, attorneys, lawsuits and all this. Where the hell are we gonna be? We're gonna put money out. It's gonna take 18 months to get the truck. We could be bankrupt that long by then. You don't know what's gonna happen here. And I think we should hold off, but I'm only one person, you know, you guys can do what you want. That's just my opinion and my advice. That's it. Thank you.
Council President, can I make a comment? I just want to clarify, Councilman Dewey, to say that we're gonna be bankrupt is not appropriate. I mean, even to say we could be bankrupt is inappropriate. We're not anywhere close to that stage.
Not yet.
Well, you have your opinions. As far as the dump truck, we did mention it when we bought that dump truck, that it was gonna take up to 2 years for that to be delivered.
But we bought a fire truck and a dump truck in the same year that we got lied to about the fire truck.
How so?
How so? When we were at the show, we could have bought 2 fire trucks for 1.2. I called you from Atlantic City. Oh, no, he just signed the papers yesterday for a new fire truck. How did he do that? You know, I mean, it was all smoke and mirrors, and then you brought in.
There were no contracts signed until we had approval from councilman, and if you have your,
Then you lied to me too.
if you have proof of otherwise, please provide it.
Provide what?
There's gotta be contract somewhere with a date on it. If you find a contract that I signed before you approved it, provide the
When I
contract.
called you from Atlantic City, you said, oh, he just signed a contract yesterday. We could have had 2 fire trucks for $1.2 million.
All I'm hearing is what you say hearsay doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah, That's all I got.
Yeah, like I said, we talked about this last meeting, there was some questions brought up. Josh brought up a good suggestion about possibly using shared service, and I talked with Josh afterwards and said, well, why don't we buy the truck and we provide the shared service for the other townships, surrounding areas, and it made sense to him. And like I said, it's gonna be 18 months before we get the truck, so we have 18 months to work out, shared services with surrounding communities, and we can recoup some of the money that we're spending for this truck and make it more useful. That's one of the reasons it's back on the table tonight to be reconsidered. I think we should go for it.
Don't need a motion. Well, it's close, so, Harry, that's almost, I'm not gonna sit there and say almost what I said, but that's almost what I said. So what I'd like to do, and I spoke to Tom, or I'm sorry, please don't sit there. I spoke to the Department of Public Works, the head of the Department of Public Works, 3 days after our last meeting when we tabled this. Just so everybody is aware, the numbers that were given to me was, we need a truck for 100 days a year out of the year. If we rent the truck, it's gonna be $3,995 every time we rent the truck. 100 days a year, I don't know. Seems like it doesn't math right to me, but I don't work in municipal government, I'm just an elected official. So, what I think we should do is, yes, Harry, I think we should ask some other municipalities in the area, or identify what municipalities in the area, which there are several, Wrightstown Borough being one of them, East Hampton, I believe, could use some help, Southampton could definitely use some help. And then the school system is its own municipality. So trying to work out a shared service agreement and seeing where we would be at, cautiously optimistic, and then go ahead and proceed with the purchase of the truck. As long as the shared services come in and the return on investment looks fine. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse, which means buying the truck and then going after shared service. What I'd like to do is, and that's what I told Department of Public Works Director was, let's identify the shared services and then buy the truck. It should only take us about a month to identify the shared services. We're looking at 18 months. Then we can sit there and come back with all the contracts and go, okay, well, we can potentially return on investment, half the amount of truck. If we're renting one for $3,995 a day, that sounds like pretty good math's right to me. So that's what I'd like to see happen is let's get the shared service agreement identified and then purchase the product. So I'm not opposed, we are a tier 1 community. And if anybody doesn't know what that means, under MS4 stormwater permitting, we have a hospital, we have identified schools, we have commercial buildings. So that means that yes, we do have an obligation to the state to maintain our stormwater management system. And there are several in the township, which makes it difficult. Lake Valley Acres, excuse me, Oak Pines, T&M, Blueberry Manor, okay, a couple other areas in the town, within the township that have stormwater drains. You know, I kind of agree with Danny in the effect of, well, if we get 2 more years out of the truck, okay, that's great, but we still need a new truck, no matter what. But let's be smart and identify, that's all I'm asking, is identify the potential to go out and do shared services and go, okay, well, we're gonna make half the amount of money back on the truck. Then that makes sense to me. So that's kind of where I'm at tonight.
And you don't think we could accomplish that by, ordering the truck now and then, putting those feelers out there and, I mean, we know they exist, it's just a matter of somebody reaching out and setting it up.
That's what scares me, and I know people listen to this recording and watch this video, right?
Right.
So I'm not dogging anybody, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't wanna be accused of harassing our department heads, because that's not what I'm doing, okay? And I don't wanna bring, the Department of Public Works in here to talk to us, because, I'm not gonna demand that, because, I talked to him, and he's a very nice fellow. But it's just, we've done this before, where we said, okay, well, we're gonna do this, and then all of a sudden, it turns around, and this won't be the first time, this will be the second, third, fourth, where we go, hey, how's that coming? Oh, I don't know. I don't want that answer. I can't afford to have that answer, and I'm not gonna sit there and say the taxpayers can't afford it, it's cliche, but it seems like the answer we get all the time. So I'm for the truck, but I wanna see the return on investment first.
Hey, Josh, if I could follow up. Sorry. We don't have a business administrator, now we're going on our
Other
second
point.
year without one. So we have nobody in charge running the show. To give you a perfect example, the ballpark lights, now they worked on that mess from the day that I got elected, Josh and I, about these lights, the lights. The lights have been in for over a year now, and they still don't light.
Wow.
Right? The lights are paid for, they're standing up, they've been in the ground for over a year, and they don't light, because the job never got done. And I'm not patting myself on the back or spiking the football. The Monday after the touch of truck, I called Jersey Central and I said, could you please give me the date of the work order to hook these lights up? Hold on, they come back, Mr. Dewey, there's no record of to hook the lights up, because all it was the lights. We're stuck in the ground. The conduit, there's no wires ran to it.
What do you mean?
What?
Everything.
A lot, because, look, the point that I'm trying to make is, people that work in this building were in charge of getting the bid, getting the contractors. The lights were put in for over a year until we called the contractor to get the job done. So now you're gonna spend $565,000, well, we're gonna call this town and we're gonna call that town, and nothing's gonna happen, because you don't have a business administrator, you have nobody, okay? That's the point that I'm trying to make. Nobody follows up. That's why we had 8 pages of open grants that haven't been resolved yet, because nobody's in charge. And who's in effect? Everybody in this room, including us, that pay taxes.
So Danny, I have a question for you, because it actually just came to my mind. When I was talking to Public Works, he advised me to get that percentage done that I had spoken about before of the drains. He said they would like to see the truck out on the road 3 to 4 days a week.
Yeah, and I'd like
So,
everyone.
so my although that's very feasible, but my question is, if you're gonna fit into shared services, okay, so now we're looking at a day to a day and a half a week, maybe available for shared services. So that's Monday through Friday, so are we going to put this thing out on the weekends? And if we are, that's fine, but how much maintenance is required on this truck? When's the maintenance gonna get done?
Perry, you bring up a very good point, and I'd like to discuss that fact, right? So, to your point, yes, warranted, that's what I thought too. But if we have a second truck, potentially get 2-3 years out of it, right? Then we have 2 trucks. One could be used here, right, potentially, at some point in time out of those 3 days a week, maybe 1 out of the 3 days a week, right? And that other truck goes somewhere else. That makes sense.
You're not talking about the old truck now, you're
Yeah,
talking
the
about.
old truck, yeah, right? So, what I'm saying, right, so like.
Okay, so you're talking about continuing to utilize the old truck while we have the new one?
I would hope so. I wouldn't wanna throw that on Iron Planet just right now and then go and not get nothing for it, you know what I mean? I'd like to see, and I was told by DPW that we would keep that second truck working, yeah. But again, when you're talking about 3 days a week, which is what the Department of Public Works told me, 3 days a week, which makes sense, 100 days out of the year, right? The shared service out, and the driver would take the new one and go over and do whatever municipality he's doing for that day, right? And if we need a secondary one here in the township, then that works here. That makes sense, it's very feasible.
Like I was told, the truck's old, it's ugly, we can get more years out of it, it's not, it's gonna blow up tomorrow. Mechanically, they got it in good shape, it's got some leaks and stuff.
Got quite a few leaks.
Well, you can fix leaks.
Okay, Danny, you're the expert.
Well, I certainly know what I'm talking about.
And also, the lighting in ball field will be commissioned Friday.
So here's my question about that. Mechanically maintained, absolutely. DOT certified safe?
I have no idea.
That's, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, because it can be all fine and well until we happen to roll through that state police, DOT check. I've been through it. It's very thorough.
But we don't pay attention to this around here. Do pre-inspections before you take the truck out, make sure the length of the trailers are working. I say, we do a pre-inspection every day.
So here's my other question about this. I knew we were gonna be beating this up, but I think we need to. We're talking about 18 months to get this truck, right?
Yeah.
So if we say no to 565,000 now, we wait 18 months, what's the price gonna be then?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely gonna go up. I mean, from what I understand.
And then if you wait 18 months, you wait another 18 months, so now you're at 3 years.
Yep, that's why I think it's better to, get it now and hold our administration to the fire.
Exactly, my thought is, we need this, we have professionals in the right places telling us we need this. Let's hold them to it, give them what they're asking for, and make them do the work to get the shared services.
Yes.
My concern is we were trying to get this truck last year, and we pushed it off because we purchased a fire truck in that.
Fire truck and a dump truck last year.
And we prioritized, so we pushed the jet truck over. I mean, I've seen these guys filling it up and watching the water run out almost as fast as they're putting it in.
Yeah, it's already been approved in the budget for a year.
And the 18 months, I honestly don't know if this truck's gonna, I mean, Danny, you have your sources, but I don't know if the truck's gonna last 18 months, the one we have now.
That's why I think it's better to err on the side of caution. It's already been, approved in the budget. We can, like I said, hold our staff to the fire and say, go out and get these contracts for shared services. And if you get the truck sooner, the other trucks, the reserve truck is gonna last longer because you're not beating it up as long, on the other end, so.
So here's my question about it. Who are we gonna hold to the fire? We don't have a VA. So it's gonna fall back on DPW.
Well, I just want the public, I'm not against the purchase of the truck. It's the wrong, they spend too much money. And the biggest problem that you have is, we don't even have the facilities for all these trucks. Cause I called them the other day when I saw the $319,000 sweeper left out in 15-degree weather. And I said, I hope that rig is winterized, because we were told that it's parked at a heated building. If you don't drain it, water freezes, and that's what breaks pipes in back trucks and all this stuff. They have to be maintained. We don't have any garages to put these things in. At the end of the day, if the guy just parks the truck and it's half full of water, you're gonna have leaks. because it's gonna break pipes, you know? But it comes down to the big word, leadership. You know, somebody in control watching out for our assets. So, you know, like I said, I'm not against the truck, I'm against the spending right now, so you guys, you know, do whatever you want, I don't care.
Well, we'll try this once again. I'll make a motion that we approve 3/46/2025.
I'll second.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
No.
Mr. Dewey?
No.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
Council President, I'm probably cutting you off from what I'm gonna ask you, but I'm gonna ask anyway. We do have one, closed session thing to add to the agenda for tonight.
Yeah, that's up to the clerk. You want to take that now and add on to the resolution, resolution 347? Okay, we have resolution 347.
Microphone?
Microphone.
We have resolution 347, 2025 has been added to the agenda as a resolution of the Township of Pemberton, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, authorizing execution of a negotiated bargaining unit agreement with the Policemen's Benevolent Association 260.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept 3/47/2025.
Second motion.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
I abstain due to having family members directly impacted by this.